All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Sports Hype. You already know what's going to happen. We're going to be talking about what's going on in the NBA and in the NFL. So, first off, we want to talk about AD's extension. Is this a good sign for the Lakers? Is it a bad sign? What does this mean for LeBron James, right? What does this mean for Anthony Davis and his future? Then we want to talk about what's going to happen with the season turning. Do we like it? Do we not like it? What's going to happen? Is this good for the NBA? Is this bad? Is this going to help their ratings? We don't know. We're going to be talking about it. Then we're going to be talking about Zeke going to the Patriots, right? And does this help the Pats? Does this help Al Belichick? And could it, increase Zeke's likelihood that he gets a bounce back year? And then Cook to the Jets. Does this help out, Aaron Rodgers and the Jets organization as a whole? And does this put them ahead of the Bills and the Chiefs? So we'll get all into that, starting with whatever Jake wants to start with.
You know, I'm feeling the NFL first. We're going to start with the two running back situations. We'll start with the Patriots. Now, I'm interested to hear the Dolphins fans' thoughts. I'm sure he's not worried, as most Dolphins fans probably aren't, as a Cowboys fan. I think Zeke is mostly washed. He still has some leeway in him, but not what he used to be, obviously, which is why we let him go. So, what are your guys' thoughts on that signing for the Patriots?
Should I go first, Joe, or what you feeling?
If you can go first if you want.
So I see it as both a good move, but as in a good move, it's not like season changing, if that makes sense. Um, that Patriots running back was like Stevenson, right? That was his last name.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a good move there to have him like mentored by Zeke. Um, but I don't think Zeke really adds to that offense very much. So I see it as a good move for the future.
Okay. I can see where you're going from there. As a mentor perspective, I didn't think about that. He can definitely help Stevenson out. But yeah, come field production, he's not going to give you much.
He's going to do decent, I think, because with Mac Jones at quarterback, they're probably going to run a lot again. He's going to get some touches, but like the Patriots, I feel like won't give him as many touches as the Cowboys did.
Right. And I feel like he'll do just as much as he did with us, like 700 to 800 yards a season. But what do you think, Gio?
I think this is a perfect situation. We all know what Belichick does. And when players' careers are starting to, go downhill, obviously they can have a bounce back year heading to the Patriots. We saw that with, obviously with Antonio Brown getting that opportunity for the first game, right? And then, he was starting to play well. You saw that with Randy Moss, obviously, when he went there, right? Even though they didn't win the Super Bowl that year with Randy, he still put out numbers, he still had a great season. Then you go to Ezekiel Elliott, right? He's going on the back end of his career now. We all saw what he did the first 3 years of his career, first 4 years, right? And then he took a downhill turn, right, with injuries and whatnot. His numbers went down. So what I think he's going to rejuvenate his career, obviously with the Patriots, he's going to have a different role, right? And Belichick's going to help him rejuvenate his career and then have a bounce back year. I don't think it's going to be what we saw in the first 3 years. He's not going to be a top three running back in the league, but he's going to be a good running back where he's going to put up solid numbers and help them moving forward. And obviously, he can be a mentor role as well, but moving forward, he's going to put up solid numbers and help them move forward throughout the season.
That's fair. I think he'll have a mediocre season just like he did last year. I expect the same production with the Cowboys personally, just because I don't think that O line's gonna help him out very much. He's gonna have to work more to get yardage, and that's gonna wear him down even more than it did with us, I feel like.
Facts. They still going to be bottom of the division.
I agree.
Y'all are so underrating Bill Belichick and his ability to reconstruct players' abilities, right? Obviously, we saw Tom Brady and what he did with the Patriots, right? He was just the greatest of all time. But then you look at other players, and Bill Belichick is such a great, football-minded, person that he's able to reconstruct these type of players like Ezekiel Elliott, and then they can have bounce back years and rejuvenate their careers with the Patriots because of Bill Belichick. It doesn't matter who's around him. Ezekiel Elliott will have better numbers because of Bill Belichick.
It's not Bill Belichick I'm disrespecting. It's Zeke. I don't think he's healthy, and I don't think he will be healthy ever again.
Well, then why is he playing?
That's his choice, but he's
How's he not
gotten
healthy? He's healthy. It says he's healthy.
yeah. They all say they're healthy, but I guarantee you
So
he's
how is he
not.
not healthy?
The wear and tear he's taken over his body, he has bruises and bangs.
I guarantee you he's gonna have better numbers this year.
I don't know, bro.
It's a guarantee.
He's not going to get. It's going to be a committee. He's not going to get as many touches as he did with Dallas.
I guarantee you he's gonna have 2 100-yard games. And the last 100-yard game he had, right, was what was it? November, right? 22nd, 2022, which was 100 or 2020, I mean, right? So November 2nd, or no, November 22nd, my bad, 2020, 103 yards, right? That was his last 100-yard game. I guarantee you 3 years afterwards, he's going to have not one, but 2 100-yard games this year.
We'll come back to that.
I personally don't see it happening, but you told Jake not to disrespect Belichick, but I will.
Oh, I
As
know
a
you
Dolphins
will, because
fan.
as a Miami fan, I understand what you're coming from, but as a football loving person, you got to understand how great Bill Belichick is.
Is he though? Or is Brady great?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Because ever since Brady left, what has the Patriots done?
Okay, but if you look at it, right? Yes, great coaches and great players work in tandem to win championships, right? But what you don't understand is when players leave that organization, when they're the greatest of all time, that really puts a setback on the organization itself.
Okay,
Right?
but great.
Anytime LeBron James leaves a team, they're down 2 to 3 years, no matter how great the coach is, like Ty Lue. That's why he got fired.
The Heat have something to say about that.
We made we missed the playoffs the first year. That
Yes,
second year he was gone, we made the playoffs. Then we missed the playoffs again,
right,
and then we went back to making it.
right, exactly. But what happened that 1 year you made the playoffs? You didn't go past the first round.
Not everyone's gonna win championship every year.
I'm letting you know right now the success of a winning franchise, right? When their greatest player leaves them, they're gonna have a couple years where it's gonna be a struggle.
Okay, but to me, if you're arguably the greatest coach of all time, you should be able to continue to have your team in the playoffs at least.
You get Max Struess playing well. You get Gabe Vincent. You get Josh Richardson playing well. You have Hassan Whiteside having a career year.
It's like, I mean, even though Tom Brady left, yeah, that's a great quarterback, but Bill Belichick should at least still make the playoffs, I feel
I
like.
mean, the first year as a rookie quarterback, Mac Jones made the playoffs.
I think this year it's excusable to miss the playoffs because that division is just so
Stacked.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Right. What
Topped
about
off
last
with
year?
Miami.
What about last year?
Last year they could have beat the Jets more
No.
than they did.
Okay, fine. I understand that. But when you have arguably an MVP season from Tua Tagovailoa if he doesn't get hurt, right? And then you have that stacked Bills team, right? Back to back, how are you going to it's very unlikely that 3 teams in the same division go to the playoffs.
Okay, but the Dolphins made it at like 9-8, something like that. So if they get a few more wins, they're in the playoffs.
But it's still the Dolphins.
Yeah, but I'm saying if the Patriots get a few more wins against other teams who they lost to, who they shouldn't have lost to, they would have been in the playoffs too.
Okay. How could they when arguably the greatest wide receiver in the game and the second greatest wide receiver in the game, a great defense, right? And they still go, what'd you say, 9-7?
9-8.
9-8. When they go 9-8, how do you expect a team that's rebuilding to do better than them?
No, I don't expect them to do better than them. I expect them to be at least third in the division.
Okay, but then how could they have made the playoffs if they were already behind the Dolphins and behind the Bills?
With a few more wins against teams they should have beat, like the Jets.
But how could they do that? How could they be
with better coaching?
How could they be in front of the Dolphins, who have a great team and a good coach, and you got the Bills, right? So that's 1 and 2 stacked, right? Then you got a great AFC conference, right? How are you going to have that when you got the wild cards, which are the Dolphins, right? And who was else was the wild card last year?
Chargers.
Chargers, right?
Jags.
No, Jags.
I thought the Jags won their division.
Oh, they did, yeah.
Did they?
I think it was the Chargers, right?
I
Was
think
it the
so,
Chargers?
yeah.
Okay, so how can you have that when you have arguably a top 10 quarterback and Justin Herbert making the playoffs in front of, Mac Jones and a rebuilding squad in the Patriots?
Bro, I'm just saying, you're saying Bill Belichick is all great. He needs to make him make the playoffs.
And he needs help.
I'm just saying
Coaches
too,
make up everything.
I'm just saying too, though, the Bills really aren't that good. They weren't that good. They'll never be good. To where the Patriots should have slid above them.
Okay, I know you're joking because when you have arguably Stephon Diggs, who's top 3 wide receiver, right?
That's a big reach. Maybe if he was still in Minnesota.
He could have been top 3, all right? And then you got
We'll say
Josh Allen,
we'll say
Allen's
top
watch.
10.
Terrible.
who was arguably the best quarterback last year.
Oh,
Arguably.
no.
Mahomes is better.
Yes, he was.
Who held the
Mahomes,
trophy?
Hurts,
Who held the trophy?
Tua,
And then don't forget you got
Rubio,
Davis also as a backup as the third
Joe
slot.
Burrow. Listen, I don't think Josh Allen's a top 15 quarterback.
I'm letting you know the Bills is a top 5 team in the NFL.
Oh, no.
They're a top 5 team in the NFL.
They had a top 5 team that almost lost to a third-string quarterback in the playoff game, the wild card game.
That's right. But look who he has as help. He has the best wide receiver we've ever seen.
And you couldn't beat our third string?
How could you when you have the best wide receiver on the same team?
Oh, you're talking about Tyreek.
Tyreek Hill, the cheetah. He's the best wide receiver in the game.
Yeah, but quote-unquote, Josh Allen has a top 3 wide receiver, according to you.
He does, but how do you have that when you have a help defense?
Huh?
The Dolphins' defense, right, is able to control Stephon Diggs. No one is able to control Tyreek Hill. No one.
Yeah, but we had a very hurt secondary as well, though. We were missing our starting full safety. We were missing 3 slot cornerbacks. We were missing a defensive tackle or 2 during that playoff game. I think we were missing 2 linebackers.
Bro, I'm just going to say it. The Bills are never going to win. That's a fact.
Yes, sir.
They're not. You know why? Because they got the star curse as well. It's one of the same, franchises, pretty much.
Hey, bro, we'll get a Super Bowl for them. I'll put money on it.
Same.
All I'm saying is Bill Belichick is a great coach. And when you put a great player like Ezekiel Elliott on his squad, changes are about to be made, and you're going to see Ezekiel Elliott produce more than what he was on the Cowboys because McCarthy is not as great of a. I don't want to put him down because he did make some great adjustments in the playoffs, but he's not as great as a coach as Bill Belichick. We all know that.
Yeah, we'll come back to this halfway through the season and see how Zeke's doing.
I mean, I agree with the whole coaching standpoint with what you just said, but I don't think Zeke will produce that much.
Yeah, I don't either, but we'll see.
Now, that other AFC team, though.
Yeah.
That running back's going to make an impact, and I'm very worried.
Yeah, bro. I was about to say, because I'm not going to – it might be a reach, but they're trying to make a Super Bowl contending team, and honestly, it's looking like they're doing a pretty dang good job over there in New York. The Jets, they got Rodgers, Cook, Breece Hall back, Garrett Wilson. I mean, this team's looking really good. So what's your thoughts on the whole Jets situation now that they got Dalvin Cook in the mix?
Dalvin should have been in Miami, bro. He really completed our offense and defense. He really just completed our team. But I think it's a good signing by the Jets. It's just a 1-year deal. It's like $8 million, I think. So when Rodgers doesn't pan out well in New York, then they can just like let Dalvin walk to Miami, and then they can be like, all right, the Rodgers project was over, like was a fail. We can like readjust, trade sauce. We can trade all of our young assets and rebuild.
Yeah, okay.
But Dalvin Cook's going to produce this year.
100%. Him and Brees Hall is going to be scary.
I really hope Brees comes back fully healthy, bro.
Bro, same. Because he was going crazy, bro.
He will win Rookie of the Year.
Oh, easily. Like, they got, yeah, man. Delvin's definitely going to be a great signing for them. And as I said, I'm going to put them in the Super Bowl contending mix. I'm not going to say they're winning it, but they're definitely contenders.
I don't think they're contenders.
Well, that's obvious.
Gio, what you
Gio.
thinking over there?
Well, obviously he's a top 10 running back in the league, right? He had 1,173 rushing yards last year, right? Averaging 4.4 on each carry, each touchdowns, 264 attempts, right? Is he better than Miles Sanders, Saquon Barkley, Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs? No, but he will contribute. He's a top 10 running back in the league. So this also is scary, right? Because you have the passing game. That's taken care of. Passing game's already done, right? That's already a wash with Aaron Rodgers and all them boys. Now you add him. You add him to the mix as well for the rushing game. Now you got a complete rushing game and you got a complete passing game as well. That's ridiculous, right? That offense is stacked. You already know that defense, right? When healthy, is a top 5 defense in the league. If not, it could have been one of the best. I would say top 3 defense last year. It was very shocking to see what the Jets defense did. So young, so talented, right? So when you have a complete team like the Jets right now, it's very scary, and it puts them ahead of a lot of other teams that were in contention. To me, it puts them ahead of the Bengals, right? It puts them in contention next to the Chiefs.
I think putting them over the Bengals is a little far right now. Because the Bengals, I'm going to say it, they have the best wide receiver core in the league right now, behind Miami.
No, I'd put them ahead of Miami right now.
You think so?
Just because their third wide receiver.
Yeah, that's fair.
Tyler
Yeah,
Boyd,
they have the
T.
best.
Higgins.
They have a top 5 quarterback. They have the best wide receiver core. The Bengals are still over the Jets, in my opinion.
So when you look at it, right, Kansas City beat your offensive squad, which is you're saying possibly the best wide receiver core last year, right? So when you look at that, and Kansas City didn't even have a top 5 defense in the league last year, it really, to me, it doesn't really make that much sense. Yes, they're great individuals, but really when it matters most, like in the AFC Championship game last year, and I believe the year before that, right? And even the Super Bowl, it really didn't make much of a difference.
Well, before that, it did, though, because they beat them 3 times in a row.
They did, but look what happens when you have them go to the Super Bowl, right, and not produce. All right, to me that's a big significant key, right? Because they can't perform at the highest level in the Super Bowl, right? Yes, they beat them in the regular season. Yes, they beat them in the AFC Championship game 2 years ago, right? But then Kansas City comes back last year and beats them in the AFC Championship game when they're older, right? When they're supposed to be going into their prime-ish of their career, right? They're still very young, but they're going into their prime. They're supposed to be getting better. So I would have expected them to win again. When you got Kansas City,
I don't think it's because of offense, though. I think it's more because of the defense. And Mahomes is just Mahomes.
Okay, so then how can you not put the Jets over the Bengals when the Jets have a top 5 defense, and now you add all these players on the offense?
Because the Bengals got better acquisitions defensively
They
this
did, but it's not better
offseason.
than the Jets.
Well, we don't know yet. It could be, potentially.
It could be potentially, right? We know what the Bengals offense does, right? We know what they do. We know what the Jets defense do, right? Because we've seen that. We've never seen the Jets offense play, and we don't see what the Bengals defense do, right? To me, the bigger thing is Aaron Rodgers, right? Dalvin Cook, right? And when you have, when you have those two guys, those two key guys added to that franchise, to me, that's bigger than the acquisitions made by the Bengals defense.
The thing is, though, I know what Joe Burrow can do.
For sure.
I know that Bengals team can get to the AFC Championship. I
Right.
watched it last year. Last year, I watched your star acquisition of Aaron Rodgers
Right.
have a very down year compared to the previous seasons.
100%.
Do I believe he could go back to that MVP form? Hopefully not. But based off last year, I can't put the Jets above the Bengals just for that reason.
Now
Right.
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Does it make sense for a player to be back-to-back MVPs and then have that terrible season last year and make it seem like, okay, he just fell off? Or do you think that was purposeful?
I think it was mushrooms.
I fully believe it was purposeful. He was doing it. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna coin this. He pulled a James Harden, right? He was in his feelings, right? He didn't want to play for the Green Bay Packers anymore, so he didn't play. He didn't try. Yes, he went out on the field, but he was not the same Aaron Rodgers we saw 2 years prior to that. It was back-to-back MVPs at that age. He can't just fall off like that.
I mean, Father Time's undefeated, bro. So until I see him and bounce back, I'm not going to believe in the Jets or Aaron Rodgers for that matter. And I don't think it was purposeful. I think he actually had a bad year, and you could visibly tell that he was upset with himself every game, pretty much. So I
Was
think
he upset as himself, or was he upset because he said himself he didn't have any?
well, he was upset at himself and everyone around him, the team, etc. But I think he just had an awful year, and until I see him bounce back, I'm not going to believe in the Jets.
Well, I can't believe that he fell off after 2-time back-to-back MVP seasons, right? This year, going to a new franchise, revamping himself, I really believe we're going to see the same Aaron Rodgers we saw 2 years prior to this. One
Hey,
year
man, I mean,
doesn't make a difference. The consistency.
Tom Brady fell off. Tom Brady fell off the last year of his career. This
How
past
old was the man? How old was he? Well, yeah, I'm sorry. He was ancient. He was 42 years old.
Okay.
He was old.
Well, how old is Aaron Rodgers?
Like 36, 37.
He's like 38, 39.
He's like a dinosaur.
He's getting up there, bro. He's going downhill. I fully believe that he's not going to have as bad of a season as last year, but he's not going to have an MVP type season again.
But I'm glad Jake brought up Tom Brady in this last season because I was thinking about this. In Brady's last season in Tampa Bay, he did not have a great O-line, which made him perform poorly.
Exactly.
The Jets are going to have a poor O-line.
Exactly. That's the thing.
Which is another reason why it leads me to believe Aaron Rodgers won't be phenomenal. But he could, but I truly, truly hope he doesn't.
We've seen. I'm sorry, I forget his name. It's not Derek White. It's
Mike White.
Yes, Mike White. Thank you, Mike White. White took flight last year, right? And we saw him perform well and solid, right? With a bad O line, right? Okay, so how can we put him against Aaron Rodgers, who is arguably one of the most talented quarterbacks we've ever seen, right? Do you really think he can't? You really think he can't perform solid?
Well, I think he'll perform solid, but I don't think it's going to be an MVP type of season, though.
I'm just letting you know when you have a quarterback be back-to-back MVPs, he's not going to fall off that hard when he's actually trying or when he has a solid team around him.
I believe it was more of the Packers. I think now that he has weapons around him, he'll have a better year.
For sure.
I don't know if it'll be enough to win the championship, per se.
I don't know. Personally, I still have Kansas City. But when you look at the Jets, they're next in line to me, right? Because I think Tua Tagovailoa, there's a question mark behind him. If he's healthy, to me, he could be the MVP this year.
I mean, I got Dolphins ahead of the Jets, Bengals ahead of the Jets. I'm not going to put the Bills ahead of the Jets because honestly, those two, the Dolphins and Bengals, will be ahead of the Jets for me personally.
This is to make the Super Bowl, not win it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say there's at least a NFC team I'll put above them as well.
Oh, for sure, 100%. I'm just saying AFC to make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I got you. The shot. Dang, I'd even put like Chargers above 'em.
I don't know about the Chargers because I haven't seen them. I haven't seen them. I haven't seen them perform in the playoffs yet. So I'm not going that far.
What was it? What was it? It was a Chargers versus 49ers Super Bowl, right? Isn't that what you
Oh
picked?
my god, bro! You take no. It was worse. It was a Chargers Cardinals Super Bowl.
That's right, exactly. That's exactly what he picked. So when you had the bias of picking the Chargers back then, it's not going to change now. It's not going to change ever.
Bro, the Cardinals didn't even make the playoffs, bro. We got to go back to that.
It was just an injury, bro. The Kyler Murray.
But we all know Aaron Rodgers is going to have a superb year this year. It's going to be better than average, but it's not going to be MVP. He's still going to be a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah,
I think I'd put the Jaguars over the Jets, honestly, and Buffalo.
bro. I can't put Buffalo against over anybody at this point. They can never win.
I like Jacksonville. They're a great sleeper team, right? ETN
They
coming
are,
back,
especially
right?
with Calvin Ridley.
Trevor Lawrence, Calvin Ridley. Exactly. You got some great stars on that team. They can be a super explosive team coming out of nowhere. Are they
They
better than
haven't actually. Sorry, Jay.
Are they better than the Jets? No, because of the defense. We see what the defense can do last year. Is that a fluke? I don't believe that was a fluke season for the Jets defense.
All I know is the Jaguars have an actual good player named Josh Allen. So that's why they're above the Bills, in my opinion.
The Jaguars have a good player named Josh
Named
Allen.
Josh Allen. The Bills are lacking a good player, a decent player named Josh Allen.
So you're saying Jags have a great Josh Allen, right? And the quarterback of the Bills, not good.
I'd put Jared Goff above him.
Hey, you know what? He's top 15. That's all I know. He's top 15.
We're not going to get
I
into
might
that
e-
right now.
I
I'm just going
might
to apologize to any Bills fans watching the podcast at this point for Nick Sayers blasphemy over here.
honestly, the way Josh Allen has tricked the media thinking he's an MVP is crazy to me. Like he should be nowhere near that conversation.
All right, we're going to move on. All right, Gio, you're going to say something?
Real quick, I just want to know who's your top 5 in the AFC?
Saya?
Both of you.
Saya, go ahead. I need to hear this biasy.
Miami, number
Okay.
one.
Obviously.
Miami.
Yeah.
Chiefs,
Okay. So
Chiefs.
yeah. Okay.
Bengals,
Mhm.
Chargers,
Okay.
Ravens if Lamar stays healthy.
Breaking my heart with that one. You breaking my heart with that one.
I'm sorry, Gio, but I'm going to break your heart too. Chiefs,
Okay.
Dolphins,
Fine. Okay.
Bills.
Okay. That's fine.
I'm gonna put Cincy 4, and then
Cincy
Baltimore,
4?
Baltimore 5th.
I think the Bills up there is crazy. I think they're bottom four.
Actually, no,
in the
switch
AFC.
3 and 4. It's Bengals, Bills. Bengals 3, Bills 4, Ravens 5. I think the Ravens are gonna have I don't know if they're gonna win the Super Bowl, but I think they'll go farther than they have with the weapons that Lamar has now.
So, go ahead.
I was gonna put Mr. Clemson above Josh Allen in that.
Go ahead, Gio.
Sorry, go ahead, Jay.
I was gonna put right. I want Kansas City at number 1, right? Just
Mhm.
because of success. Can't doubt Patrick Mahomes. Travis Kelce and them
Right.
boys down in Kansas City, right? It's really tough for me though. I really want to put the Jets at number 1 just because the talent based, and you have the defense. You have a top 3 defense, right? When healthy.
Yeah,
But I
but
gotta respect the Chiefs and they're defending champs. They're number one.
if you're talking about talent base, though, the Chiefs still got more talent.
And
Not
Miami
as a
Dolphins.
whole complete team.
Okay, but Mahomes and Kelsey are basically one whole team. Let's be honest.
They are,
And
but when you
Miami
have a top
Dolphins.
three defense,
Yeah, but if you can outscore any team you're going up against, you're going to win 99 times out of 100.
I would put the Steelers over the Jets and the Bills.
no, don't be doing that.
I thought Gio was going to agree for a second, bro.
Don't be doing that. I'm trying to do my top five seriously. You can't be putting my team up there like that.
All right,
So-
go ahead, Gio.
So Kansas City, to me, Jets is a very close second talent based, right? I
Mhm.
think yes, the Bengals are just as close to the Jets are, right? To the Chiefs. Those three teams are untouchable to me, right? Then you got yourself, Miami, because I don't know about Tua, but if he's healthy, he's right up there too with those top three teams, right? Because of talent base, we haven't seen what that defense can do fully healthy, right? Then number 5, that's where it gets tricky to me, right? Because you got the Bills, obviously. You got some team in the AFC West where we're not talking about, right? Other than the Chiefs, it could be Denver. Denver could come out sneaky as the 5th top team. Sean Payton, like I said, is another great coach, revamped Drew Brees' career. You never know what he could do, right? With that Denver team.
I do think Russell Wilson will have a better year, but it's not going to be enough to push them over the top.
So they could be top 5. They could be top 5. For me, y'all are breaking my heart because they added OBJ. They added OBJ. He got no knees. He got no knee. He got no legs. Boy,
They didn't add. They added
Zay.
Hold on. They added Zay Flowers. He's gonna have a great year.
He's good. I will give you that. He's
they,
very
they still
player.
got JK. He's back.
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins. All right. Yeah, give me him when he's healthy because guess what? I had him for fantasy last year and that boy was never healthy. When he was healthy, he produced.
Bro,
he was never healthy.
Yeah, but they're still gonna be better than the Steelers. Let's be honest.
You put him over my Steelers right now? Yeah, okay. TJ Watt's healthy. I guarantee you the Steelers are going to be better than a wheelchair OBJ.
No. It's going to be Bengals Ravens top 2, bro. It's that simple.
No. You know why? Because all y'all are, Pickett's the big ticket, man. Pickett's the big, watch his development. We got a full developed team except for the quarterback position. And you tell me the quarterback position is going to be developed? Yeah, they're going to be better than wheelchair, OBJ. I'm just saying that right now. Lamar Jackson can't finish the job ever.
Oh, you're disrespecting OBJ, bro. He's about to have a breakout year.
Oh, he's going to have a breakout year at what, age 33 without a knee?
Oh, no, bro. Watch.
Hey, man. You know how Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen became so close?
Yeah.
Guess what? Instead of practicing, OBJ and Lamar are playing video games right now. All right, together.
Yeah, they sure are.
Scary duo.
Do you know what a great duo does? Did you see?
Play man.
No, did you see what Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes do? Did you see what Gronk and Tom Brady used to do? They were on the field all the time. You know what Julian Edelman used to do?
Bro, OBJ and Lamar's been on the field. What you talking about? They've been putting in the reps.
I mean, I just heard a source just say they're playing Madden. I heard a source say they're playing video
that source, games. That source is trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro. Honestly.
But honestly, I'm saying right now, yes. But his health is a very big concern. It's OBJ we're talking about here, who hasn't stayed healthy since 2016. That was his best year ever.
I still think even if OBJ gets hurt, they still have enough weapons to be a threat.
It's a very questionable team because that whole team is based off of health. J.K. Dobbins, obviously, health. OBJ, obviously, health. 2 out of their 4 top, key players are health related. And Lamar Jackson can't finish the job in the playoffs. That's my whole big concern. They can be a top 5 team when you got that considered.
It's fair.
But I understand where you guys are coming from because I got the Jets up there with possibilities. Possibility, yes, they have the chance. But in reality, I don't believe that's going to happen.
What about the most handsome man in the NFL? He might be above the Jets.
I mean, yeah, I almost put the Raiders up there, right? Is that what we talking about?
He might be above there. And you know how much I hate Jimmy G.
I mean, really, that duo could be something special with Devonta Adams and Jimmy G. You never know what could happen, especially with that great of a player in Devonta Adams. But as of right now, they're behind Kansas City and Denver to me.
I agree with that. I mean, Devontae's great. Don't get me wrong, but I just worry about Jimmy being able to get him the ball because he's more of a deep ball wide receiver compared to the slant routes.
Right. And it's not just the team, right? They can have a solid team. It's the front office and the coaching staff. Do they have a good coaching staff? No, we had a lot of problems last year. Front office, everyone has some problems with front office, over time. So it's really behind the scenes stuff that's going to damage the Raiders.
Nah, I don't even think that's that deep. I think their biggest problem is their quarterback. To be completely honest.
I mean, it's been their quarterback even when Derek Carr was there.
Yeah, they just downgraded Jimmy G.
Pretty much, bro.
They just want their female audience to go up.
I mean, bro, it's literally just two below average quarterbacks. They just swapped.
Yeah.
Jimmy G is honestly the worst quarterback I've ever seen with my own two eyes.
I mean, he did go to 2 conference championships.
He got carried.
It's his defense. Let's be honest.
But he still was there. He still had to produce a little bit.
Yeah, but when you throw Debo at the running back just to get him the ball,
exactly, bro.
Can't throw him the ball.
And bro, yeah, he had completions, but what were they? Dump downs, 5-yard dump downs, run and catch, bro. The yards look better than they are because the receivers actually had to run.
I'm just saying right now, we saw Jimmy G play smart with the 49ers. We had 1 year with Derek Carr play smart with the Raiders. It's the consistency, man. It's the history. We've seen it happen. Derek Carr, there's no history. He's choked every single time. You tell me he can't go to the Super Bowl with Marshall?
Another podcast of me and Saya handing to Gio the cliffhanger. No, that's why we weren't speaking at the end and laughing if anyone was wondering. But Gio, continue what you were saying about Derek Carr. I know how much you don't like him as a quarterback.
Well, I just think with the talent he had, right? Obviously, he had an MVP season in 2016, right? 2015-ish. Mm-hmm. And for you not to go to the Super Bowl, not to go deep to, I believe, a conference championship game, right? When you have Amari Cooper, when you have Michael Crabtree, kind of in his prime, a little later in his prime, but still, he was still a good receiver. And then when you got Khalil Mack as your, best defensive player on your defense, holding it down there, I really think that was the best chance you could have had, and you didn't take that opportunity. To me, that just shows how bad of a quarterback he is and how bad of a leader he is, and why New Orleans, really has their work cut out for them with Derek Carr. But moving forward, though, that's all I wanted to say about Derek Carr, right? I really think Jimmy G is going to be that, solid, mediocre quarterback, right? He's in that Jared Goff. He's in that Kirk Cousins range where he's solid. He's not great. He's not exceptional, but he'll do what he needs in order for the team to win.
Jared Goff's above him.
I 100% agree, but
Goff and Cousins are both above him.
Cousins is way above him.
Yeah.
According to you guys, those two are mediocre quarterbacks.
Correct.
Okay.
After last season,
to me, Jimmy Garoppolo is in the below average section.
I think he would be a good second string quarterback. That's where I lay him as.
Yes, he's had success, but it's more of his team having success than him.
Well, we'll see about this year then, won't we? What happens without a good team around him?
Yep, that's true.
Josh Jacobs is going to have to run for over 2,000 rushing yards for their team to even win 4 games.
Well, if Josh Jacobs even plays, let's be honest.
He said 2,000 rushing yards to win 4 games.
Josh Jacobs is even a question mark, so we'll see.
I thought he was going to say 6 games, 7 games, 8 games, 9 games, maybe 10.
Bro.
4. He said 4 games for 2,000 rushing yards. That's more than Derrick Henry, and he carried the Titans to the playoffs. Oh shoot.
All right. Moving on to the NBA though. Gio did bring up James Harden earlier. So obviously we all know the news by now. James Harden's trying to force his way out of another franchise, just his third franchise he's done it. We all have very strong feelings about James Harden, as do most NBA players and fans. So what's your guys' thoughts on this whole situation of him calling Daryl Morey a liar after reports came out that they're not going to trade him?
Give him the John Wall treatment.
Bro, at this point, if he sits out a whole season, he sits out a whole season. That's on him.
Like if like in reality, what team is willing to take James Harden?
The only team is the Clippers, and they don't want to give up what the Sixers want.
Because the Clippers know if they take on James Harden, what's stopping him from being like, I'm done. Trade me.
Exactly. If it doesn't work out halfway through the season, James Harden would be like, all right, I'm out.
Like the risk to reward ratio of James Harden is just not worth it.
Right. Because he does produce on the court, not to what he was doing in Houston, but he still does produce. But it's just, if I'm a GM and I'm looking at it, I'm like, I'm not trying to give up Paul George or Kawhi Leonard for a guy who could potentially ask out halfway through the season.
I don't even think I'd give up Westbrook for him, honestly.
Or Terrence Mann, because that's what the Sixers are asking for. I'm not giving up Terrence Mann. He's my future right now.
Like no team is going to pretty much abolish their future for James Harden because he's just going to want out anyways.
Right. But the thing is, if he does stay in Philly, it's not going to be good either. And I feel like it's going to not force Embiid, but make Embiid think about asking out himself.
I would lose a lot of respect for Embiid on that.
I would too, but I mean, if they continue to lose and James stays there and brings the whole organization down, I wouldn't doubt that he'd ask out.
Yeah, but like you can't trade him though. You gotta trade him to like Golden State for their first round pick.
Yeah.
Like a late end first round pick, if anything, for James Harden, I feel like.
Yeah, honestly, because if I'm the Sixers GM right now and seeing Harden doing all this, I'll be like, I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about Embiid. I gotta get you out of here.
Yeah, legit, like trade him for a bag of chips if you have to.
To be honest, bro. If you have to throw Tobias Harris in there, throw Tobias Harris in there.
That's like 2 max contracts though.
That's true. But Gio, what's your whole thoughts on the situation? I know you got some strong feelings over there.
I'm gonna be calm about this.
All right.
I'm gonna list off some names real quick. Ryan Scalabrine, Anthony Bennett, Kwame Brown are the three names that come to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do all three of those, have in common? They had terrible NBA careers.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say generational talents. My bad.
Bust.
Ryan Scalabrine, on the other hand, we all know what he can do against regular people, right? He's closer to Jordan than any of us are, right?
I think I could be them.
Hey, maybe now. I don't know. Back then, when they had that challenge, I don't know. But all I know is all three of those guys had the love of the game. James Harden now is the worst NBA basketball player known to man. I don't care what he does. The only reason why he became somebody was because of Mike D'Antoni, and he can thank him right then and there. Because Mike D'Antoni changed his career forever. He would have been a six-man just like Lou Will, just like Jamal Crawford for the rest of his career if it was not for Mike D'Antoni.
I agree with that.
Okay. And for everyone to say, yeah, he's a top 5 player. Yeah. Did he deserve the MVP? No, he did not deserve the MVP. Giannis deserved the MVP that year. All right. He got robbed.
Bro, the fact that Jeff Teague or whoever it was said that
he's better than
Dwayne Wade.
My goodness.
I saw that. I read that and I laughed out loud. I was like, bro,
Yeah,
what are you
okay.
saying?
So one, there's not even a conversation there. Jeff Teague's
No.
out of the league, right?
Bro, he said,
nobody cares what he says.
bro, his reasoning was, oh, I see more players play like Harden. Bro, that's because they're kids, 10-year-old kids. They never saw Dwayne Wade play.
And guess what? They don't play like Harden. They play like Steph Curry. The reason why they're dribbling around, the reason why they're taking threes, not because of James Harden. They're not taking that step back because of James Harden. They're taking that step back because of Steph Curry.
Also, I try my best to play like Dwayne Wade, but clearly I'm not as skilled as Dwayne Wade or athletic. So I do like a very, very like less than Walmart brand Dwayne Wade.
I second that. I've seen him play.
He said. Oh, but for real though, this is what I'm saying right now. When James Harden, Mike D'Antoni changed his career forever, what has he done without Mike D'Antoni too? He's done absolutely nothing without Mike D'Antoni. He's changed as a basketball player. Yes, I did congratulate him on having his assist last year, but really, what kind of player do you want on your team that doesn't even want to play basketball? He's all about the money and about the success. Work hard, get the success by working hard. That's all it's about, right?
100%.
We see that with Jokic, Jamal Murray, Giannis Antetokounmpo, LeBron James. Every single champion worked hard to be a champion.
What are you saying over there, Sam?
The one person I would not have said is Jokic.
What? How has he not worked hard?
Jokic worked harder than Jamal Murray, let's be honest.
Yeah, but the one thing is, Jokic doesn't have the love for the game. He treats it like a job, like a day job.
Oh, he for sure does. But the love he has for the game, he respects the game, right? He has respect for the game. The love for the game as in respect, right? Because Jokic goes in there, he plays hard for his teammates, he plays hard for his coaching staff, right? He goes in there like a job, but guess what? He's there every single day working.
And
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just going to say, James Harden said that he wants to play in China for a season. Go ahead and do that this season. No one's going to miss you.
No one's going to miss him, period. Go ahead. Play in China. They obviously love you out there, bro.
Exactly.
I don't know
So
what it is about, but they love you more than German Lin. And German Lin's a hero to them.
And Yao Ming.
Right. Yeah.
Don't worry, Harden's gonna put up like 100 points over in China, and he's gonna let 150 get scored back on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, do your thing, Harden. Let those stats come up about you scoring 100.
Hey man, Dwight Howard's about to have a 200-point game against James Harden.
But it is utterly ridiculous to see the talent that man has and the opportunity he has to play in the NBA at a high level, not even as a bench player, but as a starter and one of the most elite players in the league. And he just takes that for granted, right? And he does whatever he wants and he takes that opportunity for granted. That's ridiculous to me.
All right, let's just go through
Get your act together.
Let's just go through it. He forced his way out of the Rockets. He spent, a year and a half at the Nets, said that didn't work. And now a year and a half at the Sixers, and now he's like, all right, that's not working. What is going to work?
China will work. You know why? Because he'll be loved, right? He's not loved in Philly enough. That's JoJo's town. He's not loved enough in Houston, right? He's not loved enough in Brooklyn. That was KD's team. China, the whole nation will be behind him.
Bro, he's not going to be loved anywhere in the NBA at this point. If he continues to do this, he's not going to be loved anywhere.
It's utterly ridiculous of James trying to do this, and he really needs to get his act together.
For sure. And go ahead, Saya.
The only thing I'm going to say is I think he was loved in Houston.
He was a hype. I do believe that, but they just didn't have the.
It's like a love standpoint that's going to keep him around.
Bro, there's nothing that keeps him around except winning, according to him.
Well, he wanted to win in Houston. He didn't have the team, right? He has. He did.
He had the team, but Chris Paul got hurt. Let's be honest. That was their best chance.
But the year after, when they got Russell Westbrook, right? It didn't work out. They got rid of Russ, right? He's there by himself pretty much. He doesn't want to play for them no more. So then he goes to Brooklyn. You got a team that can win. He just doesn't stay around enough to win.
Right. And they get hurt.
And it's just a whole fiasco, if you ask me. Right? His whole career has been a fiasco. The only time I loved him was when he was on OKC, putting up crazy numbers as a six man, right, with OKC for the love of the game, right? Even at Arizona State, he played for the love of the game. What happened, James Harden? Where did the love fall off? What did basketball do to you to deserve this?
Right. I mean, I think it's really just him thinking he's better than he is.
Right.
What it is, like in all reality, he just wants to be claimed to be better than Dwayne Wade as a top three shooting guard. He wants his ring and he's gonna dip out of the game. Like that's what's gonna happen.
Honestly, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt seeing him ring chase, to be honest, at some point soon.
Ridiculous, bro. Like Dwayne Wade's just a phenomenal basketball player, way better than James Harden ever
Bro, and
was.
even if he gets a ring, I'm never putting him over Dwayne Wade ever.
Dwayne Wade's
It's
been
not a
to
debate. It's
Dwayne
not a
Wade's been to
debate.
6 NBA finals. He's 3-time NBA champion.
The
Right.
top three shooting guards will always be Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade. It's that simple. And
Until someone surpasses D Wade. But right now, D Wade is the best shot blocking defender as a guard ever. No one can take that away from him. The best. No one's close. And he's got 3 chips.
What does Harden not do? Play defense.
Right. And he was the Flash. He had that crazy Euro. He had the most complete basketball game. He could shoot the three efficiently. He could shoot the inside shot efficiently. He could get inside the paint. He was D Wade. He was the Flash. No one could stop him in his prime. Offense and defense. Sorry, James. You got no defense ever in your career.
The reason you don't see Dwayne Wade like impacting kids nowadays is because the kids he's impacted are already in the league.
Exactly.
You look at DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan's like kind of ancient, but he learned from D Wade. That's why he does that pump fake all the time because D Wade
His mid range game is lethal.
like.
And it's let's be honest, it's not the flashiness. Yes, his game was flashy, but it's not as explosiveness as James Harden was in Houston or on the Nets. Right? He was dribble, 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 shoot. That's what everyone wants. They want to be the ball hog. They want to be the star. Dwayne Wade was the star, but he wasn't a ball hog. He was the reason why they won championships, but he was just a very complete go with the flow player, just like Jokic was or is. Jokic is a go with the flow, amazing player, but no one wants to play like Jokic.
Right. And I mean, like the people who say that James Harden is great because of that 50-point game streak he had on Houston, I guarantee you, if you put any star in that situation, they would have to average that many points in order for Houston to win. They had nobody on that team except James.
100%. And you can thank Mike D'Antoni.
Like, I'm sorry, James. He's not good. I don't think he's good.
He's good. He's a good player.
He is a good player, but on a team though, is he worse than Kyrie Irving?
Yes,
bro. Okay, absolutely, easily.
Okay, then he's a easy headache, and Kyrie Irving
Kyrie got more talent than him. Kyrie got more talent than him.
I would agree.
So, like, if you're comparing headaches and Kyrie's on the table with James Harden, I'm taking Kyrie.
100%. And I just don't understand the stuff that people think, especially Jeff Teague, who was in the league. He was in the league.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, bro. You were a point guard yourself. How are you going to say that?
But I understand where he's coming from. D-Wade destroyed him in his career when he was with Atlanta. D-Wade destroyed Paul Pierce. Like, it's all good. These guys coming back saying, how D-Wade isn't that good. We all know. The real truth is he's the third best, shooting guard of all time, and you can't take that away from him.
Right. That's why Paul Pierce coming out with outlandish statements himself about Dwayne Wade.
Right. And that's why D-Wade's in the Hall of Fame right now.
Exactly.
Forever.
Bro, that's how you know D-Wade's top three, though.
Bro, when people start trash talking you, you're the best, one of the best, if not the best.
Legit though,
like if you look at Michael Jordan, the GOAT debate is everywhere. It's like Kobe Bryant always gets bashed on for something random, and then Dwayne Wade's now getting bashed on.
The only reason is to keep these guys relevant. That is the only reason why D-Wade is getting hate on, is to keep those guys relevant, not him, because he will always be relevant.
Yep.
Yeah, literally when D-Wade's getting the most publicity in the past 3 years, 4 years since he's retired or whatever. When he's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, that's when they want to start talking about it.
Right. That's what I'm saying, bro. He's like, oh, we're going to the Hall of Fame, and then Jeff T comes out of nowhere. Oh, James Harden's better than you, huh?
Jeff Teague never even got to see prime D Wade.
Nope.
Bro.
2008 Dwayne Wade, like, that
And he
boy
thinks
was
he,
amazing.
he says rings don't count. Okay, yeah, rings don't count, but Wade's still talented.
D Wade's still
Maybe.
one of the most talented players to ever grace that floor. Best shot blocking defender as a guard. Who blocks shots like that under 6'4"?
Like, bro, it's just crazy to me, these analysts on TV going after these players
Like, maybe you give Harden the edge offensively.
by a little bit. Like that, it's not even
Like,
by a lot.
yeah, the margin is so insignificant compared to D Wade's defense over Harden.
Right.
That's uncomparable.
Right.
What do you want? You want offense or do you want a complete player? Because if you want a complete player, you're going to win championships. If you just want offense, then go right ahead. Pick James Harden all day. You're never going to see a ring ever in your life.
Exactly. That's why James Harden's never going to win, because he doesn't know what it takes to play a complete game.
Right.
Harden's had the opportunity to like take the D Wade role, take a step back, let the better player on your team dominate.
Yeah,
You be a
he
nice
never will.
secondary option. Like D Wade did that with LeBron. CB did that to Wade and LeBron.
Bro, I guarantee you, if he did that on Brooklyn, they would have had better success.
He's too self-absorbed.
100%. And that's why, again, GMs aren't going to want to trade for him. But if I'm Philly, I'm getting him out of there quick. But moving on to a team in the West who made some big news about 2 weeks ago when they re-signed one of their players. The Lakers signed Anthony Davis to a 2-year extension, I believe, 84 million, something like that. The reports are that this could keep LeBron James in LA for the rest of his career, depending on what happens with Bronny. Hopefully all is good with him and he can continue to play basketball. So what are your guys' thoughts on the Anthony Davis extension and what it does for the Lakers?
Prayers up to Bronny. Hopefully he can get back on the basketball court at that elite level he was. But if he can't, then yeah, I think that just solidified LeBron to stay there the rest of his career.
Yeah,
But if Bronny does get drafted, LeBron's out.
yeah, I agree with that. That's what I was thinking. Because like I saw that report, but then I was like Bronny, and then I realized, obviously everything that's going on, he has to get tests and stuff. Hopefully everything's okay, like you said. Hopefully he can get back. I hope he does, because I want to see what he can do compared to his dad in the NBA, and just seeing another father-son duo in the NBA would be amazing. But we'll see what happens. But if he can't, like you said, I do agree that he will stay in LA now, because him and Anthony Davis are like this. So I mean, they're gonna stay together if Bronny can't play.
Facts.
I believe it's not the chosen one's son. It's his second son. Yes, Bronny is all of that, and he wants to play with Bronny. But to me, Bryce, LeBron also said one time he wanted to possibly play with Bryce. He's not too far behind Bronny. It's only 1 or 2 years left. I fully believe LeBron James is not going to finish his career out in LA unless one of the two get drafted by LA in the first or second round, which could happen, obviously, right? But realistically, they're not going to. There's a better chance going someplace else, and that's where LeBron is going to head to. To me, this is kudos to Anthony Davis. He does not deserve this. Not yet.
Tripping.
Yet. No. Yet.
He does deserve it, though.
Yet. He does not deserve this yet.
Did you see what he did in the playoffs? I could read off the stats.
Yeah, go right ahead. Do you have the every other game stats as well in the playoffs?
Bro,
Because
I have all the
you
stats.
have the even games, or do you just count the odd games? Because I'm confused, because he played good every other game.
But he got us
He
to
made an
Western Conference
impact
Finals.
every other game.
He still got us to Western Conference Finals
Okay, but what is your
as a 7th seed.
Conference Finals or championship? And as a Lakers fan, you better say number 18, bro. You've been saying that for the last 2 years.
Don't worry, 18's on the way this year.
Okay, but you've been saying that. I'm telling you right now, Anthony Davis needs to complete it. As the best player on the team, you need to complete the task. He has not done that. That's why I say yet. He needs to be more consistent. He needs his health intact, right? He hasn't been healthy the last 3 years. I understand what you're going to bring up, Kawhi Leonard, all these other boys, but everyone's getting this, kind of, harassment too by all these analysts, right? Kawhi Leonard needs to stay healthy. Paul George needs to stay healthy. Kyrie needs to be on the court, right? Luka needs to be on the court. Giannis needs to be on the court. All these guys getting hurt need to be on the court. Anthony Davis has the same exact standard, if not greater, because he's a top 5 player, supposedly.
Yeah, he is. I do agree, though, that when healthy, he is, Saya. When healthy. When healthy.
But he needs to be healthy. He can't be a top 5 player if he's not healthy.
Then neither can Kawhi.
He's not a top 5 player right now. He was number 2.
He was, yes, he was. But I'm saying people do put him in the top 5 even with his health issues.
So
how can he?
Sorry to branch off a little bit, but let's play is AD better than real quick.
Oh, I love this game. I love this game. All right, let's go.
All right, Joel Embiid.
No,
he's not.
Jokic.
No.
That's 2.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
No.
Stephen Curry.
No. Steph won a champion. Yeah.
I should have pulled up the NBA standings for this so I could think of players. Jimmy Butler.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Regular season,
Durant.
yes. Bam Adebayo.
Yes.
But come on, not he plays. Come on.
No, yeah, exactly, bro.
Kevin Durant? No.
KD.
No.
Yes. No, I'm different. No.
Okay. That's 5 right there. Okay.
Luka
Doncic?
Luka.
Yes, he's better than Luka right now.
I'll give you that.
As of
For
right
now.
now, I
As
think
of right now, yes, but Luka will overtake him. Let's be honest.
100%. And he's still top 10, so.
Oh, easily.
Jason Tatum.
Yes.
That's 6.
Spider.
Yes.
Ooh, I was going to say no, but still, okay. We'll put him as.
Bro, you're a Cavs fan. Get out of here.
I was going to say no.
Huh?
Jalen Brunson.
Yes.
No.
Trae Young.
Yes.
Wait, you're saying Anthony Davis?
Anthony Davis is better than all those. Jalen Brunson? Yes, he's better than Jalen Brunson.
It's close.
It's not close. It's not even close to Trae Young. That's even downshift.
This is a really good one. I think these two are the same tier. AD and LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, bro. I'm done.
What happened?
Jason Tatum is better than Anthony Davis.
No, he's not.
That is a fact.
No, he's not.
That is a 100% fact.
No, he's not.
Jason Tatum is better than Anthony Davis.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Stop disrespecting AD.
What about Book?
Who? Book? No. Because the defense.
Okay, so how is this disrespecting? When Anthony Davis is not a health reliable player. 2020, you have 3 months off. You go ahead, have pretty much an off season. Go ahead, come back healthy, be the same Anthony Davis we know and love.
Bro, stop putting the asterisks next to the ring. We got the ring. Move on.
No, it's not an asterisk. I'm telling you right now, 3 months in between. If you played within those 3 months,
we still would have won. We would have won.
No, you wouldn't, because he would not have been healthy. He would not have been healthy.
I don't care. Yes, he would have. That was Anthony Davis' best year of his career, period.
Okay, because of the 3 months. It's because of the 3 months.
Not because of the 3 months. He was playing like
100%.
that. He was playing like that the whole season. He never got hurt the whole season, bro. He would not have got hurt. I promise you.
He would have easily gotten hurt because that is not have got hurt every single season. He gets hurt every single time. That time. Oh my goodness.
Only since 2021. Only since 2021. It was not in 2020. The only time he started getting hurt was 2021, not 2020.
Okay. So the times before that, when he was last couple of years when he was on New Orleans, he didn't get hurt.
Bro, he sat out the whole season because he wanted to get out. He was not hurt.
Before that he was hurt.
Bro, I promise you, he was forging in injuries because he didn't want to play.
I guarantee you right now, he would have got hurt 2020 because he had 3 months off. 2021, okay, fine. Let's say that he played pretty much every other game. He played, 1/3 of the games in 3 years.
Bro, a healthy Anthony Davis is still better than Jason Tatum. I don't care.
What about Dame Dollar?
The key word is healthy. Jason Tatum is considerably healthy all throughout the season.
Bro, even when Anthony Davis sits, he averages more points than Jason Tatum. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. with 55 games this year, still averaged more points than Jason Tatum.
But what happens in the
JT's
playoffs?
overrated.
Jason Tatum, thank you. I agree
Jason
with that.
Tatum's not overrated. Are you
He
kidding me
is
right
starting. No, he is starting to become overrated, bro. He really is.
Same with AD. Disney's also overrated though.
now? AD is 100% overrated.
He is. I will give you that. But I mean,
He's not top 10.
you're crazy. Yes, he is.
No, he's not. Kawhi Leonard's not top 10.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not. He's
Yes,
not
he
healthy.
is.
He's healthy.
No, they're top 10, bro. Even if they're not healthy,
if you
they're
don't
still
play,
top 10.
if you don't play, you don't count. If you don't play, you don't count.
Bro, they're top 10.
Nah, even healthy AD, I don't think it's top 10.
Yes, he is, bro. Yeah,
Jimmy
he
Butler's
is.
top 3, but y'all said AD's better. Crazy.
He is not, bro. That's crazy.
You put playoff Jimmy in there?
Okay, playoff Jimmy's different though, but regular season Jimmy, no.
It doesn't matter.
Regular
What
season
matters
Jimmy
right
is
now
like
is the playoffs.
top
Everyone says
45.
what matters is the playoffs. How can you? How does it not matter when Anthony Davis goes every other game? Anthony Davis goes every other game, and he loses in the conference finals to the team he beat supposedly when he was the best player in the NBA 2020.
Bro, the Nuggets were a different team. Let's be honest. They were the best team in the league by far. They ran through everybody for a reason.
Whoa.
They ran through you guys, Nick. Don't say they didn't.
I would say Miami's better still, I believe. But also, Sacramento and OKC are also up there. Let's not lie.
Sacramento is. We'll see about OKC.
OKC's about to make the playoffs.
You said that last year. We'll see.
They're going to be a top 2 seed.
You said that last year too. We'll see.
But that was also before Chet got hurt. So
Yeah, with a healthy Chet, there's no way they don't win the championship.
Okay, bro.
I'm just telling you right now, healthy or not, Anthony Davis needs to be consistent in order to be a top 5 player in the league.
I do agree. He does need to be more consistent. And the biggest thing for me with this contract is health. But I personally believe as a Lakers fan, he does deserve it because I do see what he does on the court for us. And given LeBron James's, shady future with us, we don't know what's going to happen. Anything can happen. I believe we locked him in to have somebody there to hold down the fort for when LeBron James leaves. That's why I believe that Rob Pelinka did this.
So can I ask you, if he's a top 5 player in the league and he deserves this money, how come every season as a Lakers fan, you say you want to trade Anthony Davis late in the season? If this doesn't work out, I want to trade him. Those are your words, bro.
I've never said that. I promise you.
You have said that on the podcast.
No, I've said that I don't want it. You're the one who says you want us to trade him. I say I never
I'm thinking about trading it. You said that.
No, bro, I never say that. I promise you.
You did. When you had Russell Westbrook, when you had him, you said yes.
Sports type fans, go through all the podcasts. If I found that, I'll give you $50. Because I promise you, I did not say that, bro.
You have said that a couple of times late in the season.
The only person I've avidly wanted to trade was Russell Westbrook. That's it.
Right, but
look at him now, playing big in the playoffs.
He's still
top 5 in the league right now.
No, Clippers did nothing, bro. Get out of here.
I'm telling you right now, Anthony Davis doesn't deserve this money because he's not healthy.
I do agree with you. He's not healthy. I still think based off his play, though, the play out factors the health issues, in my opinion.
You said he got 84.
What's up?
You said he got an $84 million extension.
2 years, $84 million. Yeah, I believe that's what the terms were.
Okay, fine. Give him 42. Call it a deal because he's going to play half the time anyways. Give him half the money.
We'll come back to this. I'm not going to keep arguing. We'll come back to this at the end of the season because I truly believe Anthony Davis is going to play 65 to 70 games this year.
And if he does, he deserves the money. I agree with you. That's going to be a high standard for him. 70 games, that's high for him.
Jeez. I believe 65 is high. Let's be honest.
All right, 65, that's still high. That's still high.
So I believe that's going to happen. We'll come back to it because I'm not trying to take up the rest of the time with this. So moving on, the in-season tournament. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Because to me, it's a little sketchy as of right now. I got to see it play out. Like I needed to see the play-in tournament play out. So I'm not sure what to expect. What are you guys thinking about it?
So I'll go first real quick just to get it over with. I think it's a really good idea personally. I think it'll help the competitiveness, especially if the winner of the tournament gets a automatic bid in the playoffs, right? I think that'll help keep the competitiveness within the NC or within the regular season.
Is that
Just
a reward for it?
it could be, right? If
Okay.
they do that, that'll be great for the regular season because it'll keep the competitiveness, right? And then everyone would love watching the regular season. People will play more, not rest. It's great for all parties, of the game. The bad thing about it is more injuries can occur if it's more competitive and they play more. A bad thing is you can have really, really lackluster playoffs if an automatic team bid is a bad, poor team, possibly say like the Rockets right now instead of OKC. Who knows if OKC is the eighth seed or ninth seed, right? And then you got the Rockets go ahead and slide in there. That's not cool. So you might have a lackluster playoffs. There's a lot of ifs and or buts that can go with this. But right now, I like trying out something different. Good for Adam Silver and for the NBA because we need something new.
Yeah, I do agree. I think it's gonna be cool to watch, cool to witness. It will be interesting to see like what the awards are, as you said, and just I believe it's going to be fun to watch. It's just I'm just a little bit skeptical about it because I'm not sure like how the schedule is going to work out with like the NBA schedule and stuff like that. So we'll wait and see how that works.
Well, they're regular games. They're in the regular season games. The
Oh,
tournament
they
game.
don't pause those are the games like
Yes,
with the
right.
season. Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, I do believe that it's going to be cool to watch. I think it's an added plus to the NBA, to get their viewership up. In order to have it be a success, though, I believe that the young players have to buy in more than the older players.
Ooh. I thought it was the other way around, but that's a good take. Good for next podcast.
So yeah.
Yeah, so I don't really know about this. I'm not gonna lie. You can say I came underprepared. Um, so what is it?
So it's an like it's what is it? November?
Right. Through January. It's an
No,
in-season tournament.
the championship's in December, like December
Right.
12th, I think.
Yep.
Um, it's November to December is the in-season tournament that counts towards the regular season, like stats and everything.
Right. You pretty much have four different divisions, right, with four different teams, right? And they
Hmm.
all compete for the top seed, and then those top four guys compete for the top two, I believe, and then you keep going until you finally have a winner from the East and the West.
Right.
And there's no added games.
No
No.
added games. It's part of the 82 games. Wins and loss still count. It just goes to this in-season tournament that the winner could have a special advantage, possibly automatic bid to the playoffs.
Yeah, so I don't really see this tournament having a big impact on the league. Um, I could see it having an impact if it was like set aside for like a week or two, but I don't see it having an actual impact because it is just regular season games. And I think people are going to view it more towards, or at least in the initial rounds, I don't see it being a big deal. Maybe once it gets towards like the Elite Eight or Final Four, people will start tuning in and it'll be like this bigger marketing thing. But those beginning rounds, I see it more just, oh, it's a regular season game. Like, I don't really have to tune in.
Yeah, I could see that.
From the players, it's got to be like a worthy prize for people to actually try, not just like money too.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you got people like if it is only $2 million, for example, LeBron don't really need the extra 2 mil.
True.
Um, so if it is like playoff stake, I think that could be enough incentive to try enough. But even then, if you're like one of the top seeds already going into like by the end of the tournament, I don't think they'd try as hard either.
That's true. I feel like the players might try just to keep their place in their standings the same.
Yeah, so I don't see it contributing to the actual tournament itself.
That's fair. What do you think, Gio?
I agree. When you guys were talking about that, it also made me think about, well, let's see, if a higher seed did win the tournament, right? Are they going to try after the tournament? Because they already got an automatic bid, possibly. Are they going to try
Possibly,
after the
right.
tournament? So I don't really think so. Then they can rest all their star players until the playoffs. Say like the Lakers, who need rest, because of health considerations, right? Anthony Davis, LeBron James will be fresh by the playoffs, right? And so that would be bad for the league because obviously they're not going to be generating enough revenue, at Staples or whatever their crypto.com arena, so all that stuff, right? You're not going to be making that much money. So it really could be a great amplitude towards competitiveness and ratings for the NBA, but also can decrease them as well, depending on who wins it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. If it is an automatic playoff bid, like it might be, and like a team like the Lakers, Bucks, Nuggets, championship contending teams win
Heat.
the win the win the championship in the in-season tournament, then they could rest their players and have, hopefully maybe 20 or more games where they rest before the playoffs.
Exactly.
So we'll see what happens. But you thought the older players would have to make this thing work. Why do you think that?
Well, because I think would they rest during this tournament? Does it really matter to them? Like LeBron James, like Anthony Davis. Yes, these younger guys, especially if they're already a top seed, say like the Nuggets, say the Lakers, say the Clippers, right? These guys don't really need to be that competitive midway through the season when they need to be competitive at the end during the playoffs. These young guys have the energy, they have this, reliability. They can be, run 82 games hard, pause, but they can do that like through the entire season and just play hard throughout the entire season, right? Like they can play the entire season. So, because they're young. And
Hard
like
in there, beginning to end, just like really, really going, really striving how hard they're going.
exactly. So,
Uh, yeah, I do agree with that. But I was saying that the younger players take a bigger toll on it to make it successful for the years to come, not just this year, but like 10 years down the road. The younger players have to buy in more than the older players, in my opinion.
I can see
I
that.
could,
And that's sorry. And that's why I did see where your point was justified, but at the same time I do believe it's everyone. Everyone's got to
Right.
buy into it.
Yeah,
So,
like the play-in, everyone had to buy in.
exactly.
the player I'm thinking of is like Kawhi.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
think on the calendar he'll see this tournament game, and then he'll see a regular game, and he's like,
Rest.
okay, so instead of sitting this tournament game and then playing that game, I'll play this tournament game, but
And
then I'll just go sit that other game.
right, exactly.
If
It
I'm
really won't change anything.
Or vice versa. Who knows?
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to change much from the player's perspective, but from a fan's perspective, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how it works out.
For sure.
Gio, got a segment to wrap us up.
Hey, it's coming up to Kobe Day, 8/24, right? We got Kobe Bryant, Poacher '08 coming out, Halo edition, beautiful colorway. It's pretty much all white, very clean looking. Then you also got all the other stuff happening with the Kobe line. First time for apparel too, since his death, and his untimely passing. First time for his apparel to come out as well. Hopefully that'll be a great drop for everyone to hopefully be able to get, right? And numbers, hopefully they, produce enough that everyone is able to get it, right? And appreciate Kobe Bryant as the player, right? And then another thing, Kobe Bryant is having another thing happening with Adidas. Crazy Eights are coming out. As you can see, I got the poster behind me when he's wearing them, playing against Michael, one of the first shoes he's worn in the NBA. So that's very iconic as well. So Adidas and Nike are coming out with their own Kobe line. So that's very special to see, especially when they're two rivals.
Yeah, for sure. As an avid Kobe fan and avid basketball fan, very excited to see that Kobe will have his line re-released hopefully soon, and very excited to get those up that apparel along with the shoes. And then in the video game world, obviously Madden 24 standard edition is going to drop in a minute from now at midnight. I did pre-order it, so I was able to test run it before this podcast. It is a very fun game. It is fast-paced, definitely much better than Madden 23 pace-wise. Receivers win their routes a lot faster. It's more like a real NFL game compared to the other Maddens. So if you haven't got it, I definitely recommend it. Definitely a fun game. And yeah, that's about it in the video game world. So we'll pass it over to Nick Saya.
So it's been a little bit since I've been on the pod. My apologies. I'm gonna shout out Lil TJ 222, King Von grandson, and I'm gonna shout out Travis Scott with his album. I haven't listened to Travis Scott's album, but it's doing big things, so it's gotta be good. And yeah,
Yeah. Thanks y'all for watching. We'll see y'all in the next one.
thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to drop a like. If you want Jake's $50, go back in the old videos, try to find that clip. And as always, make sure to Geo.
Hey, we love you all, guys. Thank you so much. And like Three Wise Men once said, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.